Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. We have some great topics because today is the preview that we do every single Friday for the next game coming up, and this game is the Ravens versus the Chicago Bears. Please subscribe for the Raven Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. We're going to talk about injury report. We're going to talk about an offensive preview and the X Factor, the defensive preview and the X Factor, and we're going to end with a mailbag question like we do every single episode. Thank you guys so much, and please watch to the end because we have a new ending, which is, I think, pretty cool. So it's going to be dope. A special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, and we're going to hop right into the first topic of the show. I know what you guys are thinking. I didn't see the Patreon screen. Don't worry, it's at the end on the end screen. I got you guys. So for the injury status and information, the first topic, we're going to talk about the big injuries. I have the injury report here for you guys so you guys can see it when I'm seeing it, and we can talk about it. You got Carl Davis, who did not practice the first 2 days in limited practice, and I'm kind of talking about him specifically because he's on the defensive line. Brandon Williams did not play, and it was limited practice on Friday. It's good that he practiced, but still, I don't think he'll be playing a lot of minutes in this game. I named those two in particular because we need the D-line to be healthy for this game and just for all games. And it's not good if they're not healthy. Terrell Suggs did not practice. It was not injury related, but I think Harbaugh just gave him a rest. Jalen Hill was limited and Jimmy Smith was limited, which worries me because the cornerbacks are kind of falling down. Two positions of depth, the cornerback position and the defensive line position that the Ravens have been decimated by injuries, and it shows you how hard the NFL is, right? In other sports, when you have a starting five, or in baseball, I think it's 10 people out there, catcher, whatever, 7, 8, how many people you got out there, injuries aren't as big of a deal. In football, you can have a star defensive line, and by week 7, half of them are gone, right? So football is like super tough with injuries, so we need to be ready against a team like the Bears, who have a very good running back in Jordan Howard. They have a very good change of pace back. They are dangerous in the run, so we need our defensive tackles to play well and to be actually out there. I don't know if I want Brandon Williams out there because he just got back from injury, but if the Ravens think he can play and he think he can play, I say go ahead, let's take our chance and let's try to win this game. Again, don't rush him if he's not ready to play, but if he is, you know, if he wants to play, he's a grown man, let him play. So we're going to move on to the second topic, which is the offensive preview and the offensive X factor. So, you know, the biggest thing for the offense this week is just to build. Can we consistently build on the success that we had against Oakland? Now, the Chicago Bears defense is a much better defense than the Oakland Raiders defense. It's just not even a question, not even a thought. They're good, right? So, can Joe Flacco, his offensive line, protect long enough for the run game to get started and for Joe Flacco to be excellent? We really need Joe Flacco to be excellent, but he's not the X factor. The X factor for this game are the running backs, simply because the best way to wear down a defense is to run the ball effectively. Then running the ball effectively, especially in the Ravens offense, allows for play actions to be successful, deep throws to be successful, counters and draws to be successful. So we have to get Alex Collins or Buck Allen involved heavily. I think Buck Allen is a very good receiving back. I think Alex Collins is a very good running back or rushing back. Use them together. Third down back, Buck Allen, he gives you so many options. Alex Collins is a beast when he gets his head down and the full head of steam. Use them. Make sure that they have a very big impact on the game. Also, not the X factors, because I don't know how much the Ravens are going to try this, but I think it may be time to get Perriman some balls down the field. They are trying to use him on short routes because of his speed. They're trying to give him the same way they used Mike Wallace last year, get them slants and try to get him to go. I think you just throw it down the field. He's big, he can jump, and he's so fast. Give him a chance. They trust Mike Wallace down the field. Show some trust in Brashard and give him a chance. If he doesn't work out or if he drops the ball, then, you know, you got to put him on the shelf for a little bit. But give him a chance. I think he'll provide something very good. I think the Ravens offense will not be as good as they were last week, simply because I think the Bears defense is better. But I do think that they will be okay. And I think we have a chance to be as good, but I wouldn't bet on it. We're going to go to the third topic, which talks about the defense. The bread and butter in Baltimore. We've been good on defense for a lot of years. Some people may even say that in 2000 we had one of the best defenses ever. So this is important for us to be good on defense. We have not been good on defense, especially against the run in the last few weeks. And this is a big deal. We have to be able to stop the run. Mitchell Trubisky is going to make mistakes as a rookie, right? The Dean Pease's scheme is very complicated, so mistakes are going to happen. However, they're going to try to minimize his mistakes by minimizing the times he throws the ball. He'll throw the ball in third down situations. He's talented enough to make that happen. But he's not talented enough right now to lead the team. They're going to use those running backs. Jordan Howard is talented enough to beat you. Jordan Howard beat the Steelers. Jordan Howard can beat you. You have to play him. And really, he's their only weapon on offense, in my opinion. So I think that we need to sell out for the run and force the rookie to beat you. And if he beats you, congrats, rookie. You know, you're ready for this league. But if he doesn't, that's what we want. X factor, the defensive line, especially the reserve players. That's a Carl Davis. Players like that who have to step in. Michael Pierce is going to be good. I have no doubt in my mind Michael Pierce is going to be good. But who else is going to help? Who else is going to step up who has not been stepping up? Because when Brandon Williams was in and Michael Pierce was in, everything was rolling, okay? When you had Brent Urban in, everything was fine. You other guys got to step up and help, okay? Though, if the only way we're going to win this game is if we stop the run. Because if the Bears can control the ball and always have 3rd and 3-yard situations, we're going to lose this game. We need the defensive line, especially the tackles, to control the game. I hope it happens. I think it can happen. It depends on whether Brandon Williams plays. If he plays, I think the line is controlled. If he doesn't, I'm a little worried, to be 100% honest with you guys. I just have not been impressed by the reserves in that spot. In the comments below, you guys let me know. And guys, also give me a score. I think it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. I'll go 14-10. You guys let me know in the comments below. What do you think the score is? And I'm also predicting that the Ravens win, of course. So now we're going to move to the mailbag question. This is where you guys can join the show by sending your question into mailbag@therravenspace.com. Or you can put it in the comments below of this video, and we'll be using it for Monday's episode. The question of the day comes from T Get Dubs, and his question is, do you think if Marlon plays well this year, he might have a chance to be the #1 corner? Thank you so much for your question. The answer is not this year. So if that's where your question and where your mindset is coming from, can he be the starter this year? The answer is no. Brandon Carr is playing too well. Jimmy Smith is playing too well. Other than injuries, there's no way that he will become a starter. Marlon Humphrey will become a starter. However, there are 2 decisions that the Ravens have to make in the next 2 years that are going to be huge decisions. Decision number 1, do we re-sign Brandon Carr for another 2 years, right? Depending on how that goes, and right now I think the Ravens should be leaning yes, because he's playing so well. Yes, right? Depending on what the money is, yes, you should sign him for another deal. The bigger question is, do we pay Jimmy Smith as a top 5 lockdown cornerback when he can't stay on the field? Because when his contract comes back up, they have to make a decision. I don't know what you guys would do, but if Marlon Humphrey is as good as it looks like right now, I think you can have a hard line for Jimmy Smith. And you can say, hey, this is the amount we're going to give you. You don't play. You're always injured. Hey, this is what we can give you. And he takes it or he leaves it. So if those 2 things don't play out, if those 2 things, you know, if they, for example, say, okay, we're going to pay Jimmy Smith like a top flight corner, even though he gets injured, and we're going to bring Brandon Carr back because he's been performing so well, then Marlon Humphrey doesn't have a chance to be a starter. He's just not outperforming those guys. and you know, you can see it on the field. He's just not outperforming them. But I do really expect that Jimmy Smith won't be a part of this team in the long term, because I don't think the Ravens want to pay that kind of money for a player who gets injured all the time. I mean, would you want to pay for, you know, a babysitter that only can babysit, you know, 3 days a week, right? When you need him for 5 days a week, is, you know, but you got to pay him 4 or 5 days a week. You wouldn't want that. So it's the same thing. I kind of simplified it, but they don't want to pay for a cornerback that can only play 10 games. So I think that in the future he will be the starter. And of course he was taken in the first round, so that also says he's going to be the starter. But this year, no chance. It's just, he's just not outperforming those two. Thank you so muk for that question. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited about the game. I'll be on Twitter live tweeting the game. So if you're on Twitter, at me, ask me a question, because I will answer your question. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Also, if you want to support us, check out the Raven Space t-shirt store in the description below. And if you want to take the ultimate step and be the ultimate Raven Space backer or fan, please check out our Patreon page, where the best people are there, and they are the best Ravens fans I know. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.